Hello and welcome to Observer TV News. It's Thursday, November 14, 2019. I'm Matthew McCarthy with Marcus Davy, and here are the top stories. A vocal street nurse in Toronto is fighting for more help for the homeless with the early return. The Toronto Maple Leafs lost a close game last night, and the new trailer for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie has been released following backlash from the original one. And now to our top story. Complaints about homelessness have increased following the death of a homeless man named Richard on Tuesday. Street nurse Kathy Crow says that Toronto isn't doing enough to deal with the problem. She says that there are not enough beds for the approximate 5,000 homeless. According to Crow, 8 homeless people have died since mid-October. The city opened one warming center during the extreme cold early Wednesday.
Toronto has now had the all-time high of 640 shooting victims in 2019. While the number of incidents hasn't changed since 2018, the number of victims has increased. According to the stats collected from Toronto Police, there have been over 130 more victims this year than last year. Let's take it to Allison with breaking news about a shooting that has happened in North York this afternoon. Allison, what can you tell us?
Hi, Marcus. So we do now know that there was a shooting that took place near Steeles and Dufferin. And two people have been reported with injuries. One person has been reported with non-shooting injuries. Toronto police are still currently investigating the situation.
Allison, can you tell us how a shooting happened?
Police Chief Mark Saunders said the shooting was a robbery that was gone bad at a moving company near the intersection. Saunders said it was reported that 2 people walked into the building, opened fire, and started firing shots inside of the business.
Thanks, Allison.
Yesterday, a 10-year-old girl was killed in a tragic accident, preliminary information suggests. Crystal Morocco was being pushed in a stroller outside near a Scarborough apartment when an air conditioner fell from the 8th floor, hitting her in the head. She was rushed to the hospital but was later pronounced dead. This unfortunate death has caused the Toronto Community Housing Organization, who owns the apartment, to review the air conditioners at their installations.
Police are still investigating the graffiti that was now been removed from the cenotaph outside Toronto's Old City Hall. On Tuesday morning, the words, "Ye broke faith" and "with us" are found on 2 sides of the monument. Since then, Toronto officials removed the graffiti from the monument. Ontario Premier Doug Ford told reporters he is disgusted by the shameful act and hopes that whoever did this is brought to justice.
2 Toronto residents were charged extra at the press of a Mississauga bus they didn't even take. Actually, Howard and Samson Dolomon pressed the Presto passes in August at Wilson Station, but the fare went to the wrong bus. On Tuesday, Metrolink stated they were reversing the August transaction a few hours after CBC got in touch. The reason why this glitch happened is still under investigation. Now to provincial news, and an update on the situation with the upcoming job action by Ontario's elementary school teachers. Taylor Thompson is here in the studio with the latest on the possible upcoming elementary school strike. Taylor, what updates do you have on Ontario Public Elementary Teachers' Work to Rule campaign?
Well, Matthew, Teachers Federation of Ontario announced a province-wide Work to Rule campaign that will begin November 26. Public elementary school teachers will be withdrawing from ministry and school board administrative activities to focus on working with students. As part of the campaign, elementary school teachers will not be responsible for extracurricular activities, staff meetings, completing report cards, or any duty outside of requirements in their contracts. The ETFO says the decision comes following an unsuccessful meeting with the province to renew teaching agreements. They hope this decision will, quote, turn up the heat on Premier Ford and Education Minister Stephen Lecce.
Will this affect students?
ETFO President Sam Hammond says the campaign will not affect students' learning or safety.
Thank you very much, Taylor.
The 115th Santa Claus Parade is ready to kick off this Sunday in Toronto. The parade will start at 12:30 at Parliament in Bloor. This year, they have made a new route for the parade. It starts at Parliament in Bloor and moves in a square, crossing over on University in Wellington and ending at the St. Lawrence Market. Toronto is also giving away a printable template for kids to write letters for Santa. Canada Post got involved and will be collecting all letters along the parade route in hopes to spread Christmas joy. And that's the latest news. Stay with us for entertainment with PJ and Felicia after these messages.
Welcome back. And hi everyone, I'm PJ Boyd. Jim Carrey's newest film, Sonic the Hedgehog, has released a new trailer. Previously, the first Sonic the Hedgehog trailer received massive backlash online, as fans criticized how the animated Sonic looked. Many pointed out the animators at Paramount gave him human teeth. In this new trailer, Sonic has smaller teeth and bigger eyes, looking more like the video game Sonic. In the movie, Carrey plays villain Dr. Robotnik. Sonic the Hedgehog will open February the 14th. Another Canadian has also just hit the news. Justin Bieber has reportedly filed legal documents to trademark the phrase R.N. Bieber. Reportedly, R.N. Bieber will mean, quote, entertainment services in the nature of live musical performances and production of sound recordings, unquote. It is also rumored that this could be the title of one of Bieber's future albums. Now in television news, British comedian and actor Ricky Gervais will return to host the 77th Golden Globe Awards in January. Gervais previously hosted 4 times, but always walked away with backlash over his hosting style, which included punchlines made at the expense of some of Hollywood's biggest names. And now over to Felicia with more buzz from the entertainment world. Felicia.
Thanks, PJ. And hey, everyone. Here's a story many of you may have already heard. Drake was booed off the stage in Los Angeles on Sunday evening after he made a surprise appearance at Tyler, the Creator's Camp Flog Gnaw Carnival show. Many fans at the show were expecting R&B artist Frank Ocean as a surprise performer for Tyler's show lineup. But fans were not pleased to see the Toronto rapper take the stage and perform a set. The rapper asked the crowd, "If you want to keep going, I will keep going tonight." But the audience continued to boo him and scream no. Drake supporters took to social media to express how painful it was to witness. Tyler, the Creator, expressed he is disappointed in his fans in his Twitter bio. However, Drake has the last laugh. Drake went on Instagram to address the incident, letting fans know he has signed a 10-year residency at Camp Flog Gnaw, and they will have to see him every single year. New update in the streaming world. Disney Plus app has officially launched, and in the first day, the company has surpassed 10 million subscribers. The app has been downloaded more than 3 million times and provides thousands of films and shows from childhood to present day. Despite tech problems that affected the server throughout the day, Disney has brought on series such as Star Wars, Marvel movies, and so much more. By the end of the day, Disney Plus was also #1 in the App Store, according to the company. The company has also launched a bundle with ESPN Plus and ad-supported by Hulu, which has also helped bump both apps in the app stores. And that bundle has a notable increase in signups following the launch. Disney has also confirmed that there will be no plans to release Disney Plus subscriber data outside the Walt Disney Company's quarterly earnings calls, for they are working on further updates to the new application. The next time we will hear about the subscriber numbers will be the upcoming year 2020. The film world has just gotten better. Lion King and Spider-Man helped boost franchise results at Cineplex. The movie theater company reported a third quarter profit of $13.4 million. The same quarter in the previous year has been up by $10.2 million as revenue rose 8.3%. This was helped by the Lion King and Spider-Man movies. The movie theater company claims the profit amounted to 21 cents per share as the quarter ended on September 30th, in comparison with a profit of 16 cents per share in the earlier years. The box office revenue grew to $177.9 million in comparison to $173 million a year ago. The revenue for food services at the theaters totaled $125 million, up from $115 million. That's all for entertainment news. Now over to national news with Chris Camilleri.
Thanks, Felicia, and hello, everyone. Here is a look at your national news. The Canadian Nationalist Party leader has been charged with assault causing bodily harm, aggravated assault, and breach of probation after allegedly getting into an altercation with 2 women. The 28-year-old Travis Patron ran under the Nationalist Party banner in the recent federal election. He's facing these charges after police were called to the scene of a reported assault in Regina at around 2:30 a.m. Patron appeared in court Tuesday. He told the CBC in an interview that he disagrees with the charges and will fight them. Patron is now scheduled to be back in court later this month. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh has just met with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in Ottawa today to address his priorities for working together in the next Parliament. Yesterday, Singh said he has 3 key priorities he hopes to see in the Liberal throne speech, which will be delivered on December 5th. The top asks for the NDP will be for support from the Liberals for a national universal pharmacare program and openness from the Liberals to a public dental coverage, among other concerns. Singh says he's not pushing ultimatums, but insists his party would be willing to vote against the throne speech if Trudeau does not acknowledge the NDP's request. And in other news, a Canadian charity program, The Simple Things, has been getting praise for its massively successful program for sick patients. The program grants small wishes to dying patients in order to lift their spirits and ease their pain. Now it's been endorsed by many doctors. The wishes can be as simple as getting a beloved item that reminds them of home. Researchers interviewed families and caregivers of more than 700 terminally ill patients about their experiences with the program. So far, the charity has granted over 3,000 wishes. The program intends on continuing its good work going forward in 2020. Canadian soldiers are now reacting to Don Cherry's poppy comments. Observer TV News' Zeba Khan is here in studio with the latest on the story. Zeba, what's the latest?
Thank you, Chris. So some armed officials think that education is key to let everybody know what the poppy is all about. Sean Stewart is a retired Army major of the Canadian Armed Forces, and he told CBC that he cringed at Cherry's comments. He said, and I quote, "We're not doing a good job as a country educating everybody. That includes our own, born and raised."
It seems that Don Cherry attacked new immigrants. Is it really immigrants' fault for not wearing the poppy?
Well, Chris, it seems like education is the solution. Canada's Welcome Guide actually does not say anything about the poppy. However, the guide does say that Canadians should find out about Canada's military history, a key component of the Canadian identity.
Don Cherry said that he should have said everybody instead of you people. So how can we really promote poppy education and Remembrance Day?
Well, Chris, there are resources available for Canadians and new immigrants to learn about the poppy and Remembrance Day. One of them is the Royal Canadian Legion. The Royal Canadian Legion has information about war veterans, the significance of the poppy, and Remembrance Day. Those that are interested can find out more about it at www.legion.ca.
Thanks, Zeba. And stay with us after these messages. We'll be back with our international news segment with Corné Van Hopen.
Welcome back. I'm Corné Van Hopen with your international news. A school shooting in Southern California this morning has killed a 16-year-old girl and a 14-year-old boy. 3 more people are in serious condition. It happened just before classes started. Scenes outside Saugus High School in Santa Clarita near LA show lines of students being escorted by armed deputies. Several students were also carried out on gurneys. Other schools in the area were placed on a lockdown as a precaution. Students say the suspect, whose 16th birthday is today, is recovering in hospital receiving treatment following a self-inflicted gunshot to the head. His girlfriend and mother are at the police station for questioning. Overseas, schools in New Delhi remain closed for the 3rd day due to bad air quality. Many buildings in India's capital lay buried under a thick layer of haze. An official health advisory was issued urging residents to avoid all outdoor physical activity. The air quality index is registering 460. This is 9 times the level recommended as healthy by the World Health Organization. New Delhi is one of the world's most polluted cities, and many residents are frustrated over the government's lack of action. In China, 2 people were diagnosed with a strain of the plague even more contagious than the strain that swept through Europe in the Middle Ages. It's known as the pneumonic plague. It causes symptoms such as fever, nausea, vomiting, and it kills nearly everyone who gets sick within 24 hours. But officials say if you get on antibiotics right away, there is hope for a full recovery. Chinese authorities are doing all they can to contain the infection and prevent an epidemic. Next, Sam Cavanaugh is here, providing an update on the situation in Bolivia.
Tension continues to reign in Bolivia after former President Evo Morales resigned and fled the country. Morales was Bolivia's first indigenous president. His 13 years in office came to an end following a contested election and subsequent request to resign by the military. Granted asylum in Mexico, Morales stepped off the plane and was greeted by Mexican Foreign Minister Marcelo Ebrard. When asked what he intended to do next, the former president was quoted, "As long as I am alive, we will continue doing politics. As long as I am alive, the fight will continue." This, no doubt, comes as a disappointment to the newly sworn-in interim president, Janine Áñez, who, in spite of the support of the army, police, and church, faced continued resistance from supporters of Morales. Morales supporters clashed with police in La Paz and El Alto, waving the indigenous flag and chanting civil war. And now to Isabella for Lifestyle.
Thanks, Sam. Health Canada is reviewing everyone's go-to antihistamine, Benadryl, after a report stated it was less effective than newer products on the market. The report by Canadian allergy doctors warned against the use of first-generation antihistamine products like Benadryl to treat things such as hay fever and hives. With potential side effects like breathing problems and seizures, Health Canada's group of doctors is looking into restricting access to this family favorite drug. Google has jumped onto the fitness track, buying Fitbit for almost $2.1 billion. The popular fitness tracker has 28 million active online users and has become a rival of the Apple Watch. Fitbit will not be changing its privacy terms, so any data collected will not be used by Google. And as many of you have already heard, Disney Plus launched Tuesday, only 2 weeks after Apple came out with its own streaming service. Disney Plus features original television series and films, along with content from Disney, 20th Century Fox, National Geographic, and more. It is currently only available in Canada, the United States, and the Netherlands, and it already has 10 million subscribers. The service will cost Canadians $8 per month. After the break, we will be back for weather with Alana.
Welcome back, everyone. This is your weather forecast for today, tomorrow, and the weekend for the GTA. Right now, the high is 0, which is a welcome change from the frigid temperatures that we had earlier this week. Today opens the Distillery District's Christmas market, so bundle up and expect lots of crowds. Light snow is expected throughout the day, but should taper off by the evening with temperatures dipping down to -3. Friday morning should be overcast and see a chance of wet snow. The high should go to 2 with a steady wind flow from the north. The jet stream will stay low for the weekend, and Saturday will dip down to -4. If you're going to the Santa Claus parade on Sunday, the weather should be good at 2 degrees and a bit cloudy. The week will see a rise to more seasonal temperatures and more sun, but a chance of flurries. And here is Angelo Cruz and Kyle Marshall with your latest sports updates.
Thanks, Alana. Injuries have riddled the Toronto Raptors as of late, with key rotation players being sidelined for the foreseeable future. Kyle Lowry and Serge Ibaka were both injured during last week's game against the New Orleans Pelicans, with Lowry re-aggravating a left thumb injury from the playoffs and Ibaka spraining his right ankle. Earlier this week, OG Anunoby suffered a contusion in his right eye during Monday's game against Kawhi Leonard and the Los Angeles Clippers, and is expected to return later this week.
The Toronto Maple Leafs lost a close game Wednesday night, losing 5-4 on the road against the New York Islanders. They have now lost 3 straight games, each by only 1 goal. Current Leafs and former Islanders captain John Tavares continue to hear it from the New York fans, with them chanting, "We don't need you," throughout the game. The Islanders have won 11 of their last 12 games.
Injuries couldn't stop the Raptors from winning games as they came out victorious against the Portland Trailblazers last night, winning 114-106. Pascal Siakam and Fred VanVleet scored a combined 66 points, with members of the bench unit stepping up in the absence of core rotation members. Rookie Terrence Davis scored a career-high 15 points alongside Rondé Hollis-Jefferson with a double-double of 16 points and 11 rebounds. The Raptors will end their 5-game road trip against the Dallas Mavericks this Sunday.
In the wake of the Don Cherry firing on Monday, The future of Coach's Corner is up in the air. Cherry stepped down on Monday from his longtime segment on Hockey Night in Canada due to discriminatory comments he made on Saturday's broadcast. He had co-hosted the segment since its inception in 1982. The early betting favorite to replace Cherry is former Leafs general manager Brian Burke, but Sportsnet has not yet stated what the fate of Coach's Corner will be.
UFC fighter and former professional wrestler Phil Brooks, better known as CM Punk, has returned to the WWE as an analyst for WWE Backstage. Punk, who vowed never to associate himself with the company ever again due to personal issues, appeared at the end of this week's Backstage episode, which trended worldwide. Now the question of whether he will return to the ring as a performer remains to be answered.
Major League Baseball continues to dole out their major awards this week, announcing the Cy Young Award winners last night. The Mets' Jacob deGrom won his second consecutive award in the National League, while the Astros' Justin Verlander took home the honor for the American League for the second time, with his first coming in 2011 when he also won the American League MVP. The American and National League MVP awards will be announced later today.
And that's it from sports. You can get more on our website at torontoobserver.ca. From all of us here at Toronto Observer TV News, I'm Angelo Cruz. Thanks for joining us and have a good night.